fares. It's a better class of sail. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Get our super fast internet with gigantic fibre at our smallest possible price. Only $84.95. And for an extra $5 a month, get a super fast connection in every room with Google Wi-Fi. Go to allcon.net.nz to go faster.
With cheeky grins, they grab a Kiwi favourite and breakfast begins. But when breakfast is not ideal, the taste of Kiwi seals the deal. Kiwi Juice, New Zealand's favourite juice.
Hiya Ben, heard about Pumped? You get 6 cents off a litre every day. Plus you can earn flybys or air points too. That's got me pumped.
Just scan your Caltex app, flybys or air points to save on fuel and earn rewards every day. Caltex, it's a local thing.
Sup surf pals, Kelly Slater here to chat surfing the broadband. Far out! Check this brand new skinny offer. 300 gigs of 4G wireless broadband for just $59 and get your first month free. Get the skinny!
If you're dreaming of ancient cities, history, culture and breathtaking destinations, say hello to a cruise holiday.
Discover the Mediterranean as you sail from Athens to Rome on the brand new Enchanted Princess. Visit stunning Santorini, beautiful Victoria, plus Naples, Barcelona, Florence and more. This 15-night cruise holiday starts from $7,159 and includes flights from Auckland, plus onboard main meals, beverage package and unlimited Wi-Fi. Hello World Travel, experts in cruising.
You know what? I'm actually so lucky that I get to spend these special years with the kids. My wife was really surprised when I said I wanted to be a stay-at-home dad. I'm just so much more involved these days. Yeah, everything's better since we moved into our brand new home. Fletcher Living. New home so good, you won't want to leave.
Beast Mode Triton now has the best offer. $39,990 plus hot roads for 4-wheel drive GLXR manual. You get 18-inch alloys, tons of power and torque to tow 3.5 tons. Get intelligent safety, 10-year powertrain warranty, connectivity, creature comforts, and a beast of a ute. Get into your Mitsubishi Motors dealer fast.
Drive your ambition. Mitsubishi Motors. Our mysterious dance. Female demands a suitor who can produce soothing vibration of survival. He must mesmerize or die.
Magical Land of Oz, Tuesday 7:30 on 1.
Welcome back. As plant-based diets grow in popularity, New Zealand's beef and lamb industry is ramping up its push to get more Americans eating our meat. It's spending about $2 million on a campaign, including bringing out 6 so-called food influencers to spread the word on social media. Kushla Norman explains.
It may have been a household staple for years, but attitudes towards red meat are changing, forcing those selling it to adapt.
We've got to make sure we're getting really good at telling our stories so consumers perceive us to be good meat.
New Yorker Ben Hon is what's called a food influencer. Beef and Lamb New Zealand's paying for him to share his culinary journey with nearly 56,000 followers.
I think by far the food has been the best here in Wellington.
Any particular dish that stood out?
In the trip, for sure. Chef Sean Colston's Peking-style lamb shoulder.
In the United States, most meat's from animals raised on grain. Here it's grass-fed. That's the message the industry wants the influencers to pass on.
With grain-fed systems, it's typically on a feedlot, and the animals don't get a lot of movement and exercise.
The lobby group's hopeful a trend towards eating less meat could work in its favour.
When they do choose to eat meat, they're going to want high quality, high welfare, well-produced product that New Zealand produces.
Meat is one of the country's top export earners. In 2015, global exports were worth $6.4 billion. The United States was the biggest market, followed by China and the United Kingdom. Last year, the picture changed. China was the leading market by a long shot. Part of that was due to the protein shortage caused by African swine fever.
And we've chosen to sell product to China as opposed to the United States because China has been prepared to pay more.
And while meat might still be in demand, it's not necessarily what gets the Instagram likes.
Those dumplings, they're just very photogenic.
Proving it can be a challenge attracting the discerning foodie. Kushla Norman, One News.
Treasures from one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world are coming to New Zealand.
Sculptures from the mausoleum of Halicarnassus are part of an exhibition of 170 ancient Greek artifacts, the largest selection ever sent here. Our Europe correspondent Inga Faitala got a sneak peek.
The spectacle of ancient combat, Hollywood style.
We'll see that they're not that different from the ancient Greeks, that they have the same desires, the same ambitions, the same thoughts.
The myths and the relationships between gods and mortals is told through 170 ancient artifacts, including this frieze block, which adorned the mausoleum at Halicarnassus in the 4th century BC, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world.
Here you can see a wonderful scene where the warrior is just about to strike the kneeling Amazon on the dead, but she's pleading with him, she's raising her hand, she's raising her palm out in desperation of her life. I'm sure whatever was in his missing arm is just about to deliver the death blow. But as you can see behind, another Amazon woman is to take her revenge.
From the arch enemies to the prized possessions.
On it we have the goddess of love, Aphrodite, very suitable subject for a piece of jewellery that you'd wear probably against your naked flesh.
From small to colossal.
The Greeks were very proud of their bodies, and they thought that it was basically their bodies were a gift from God. So if Zeus gave them a good body, they had to look after it, show it off, which is why, of course, they presented themselves nude at running events and sporting events.
Each item catalogued and specially packed before being shipped to Auckland's War Memorial Museum.
It's really exciting. It's a chance for people to see antiquities and things from, ancient Greece. That it's a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see this collection.
The largest the British Museum has ever loaned to New Zealand, the ancient Greeks, athletes, warriors and heroes, opens to the public in July. Daniel Faitau, One News, London.
Imagine finding some buried treasure right in the comfort of your own home. Well, a man in the US has made quite the discovery, all while sitting in his well-loved armchair. But he doesn't plan to keep his lucrative find, as ABC's Matt Goodman explains.
When Michigan resident Howard Kirby and his daughter-in-law were watching TV one night inside of his man cave, he says he noticed something strange.
Footstool was always uncomfortable, seemed like made my feet ache.
The retired father of 6 had just paid $70 for the sofa, chair, and footstool at his local thrift store just outside of Lansing. They decided to take a closer look at one of the cushions.
She unzipped it, and there was 2 envelopes that had $43,170 in the envelopes. Well, she pulled that out. She says, "Dad, money."
You heard that right. More than $43,000. Howard had hit the jackpot. He started thinking about how he would use that money.
Everything ran through my mind. Now I can pay off a house, I can get a roof on my house, and I can retire real good.
But after thinking about it some more, he decided to find the rightful owner. So he went back to that thrift store.
I know how it is to lose something and not get it back.
The thrift store reached out to this family, the Newberries, who donated the furniture. Kim Newberry's grandfather died a year ago.
And I was hoping for pictures or memento letters.
But Howard was about to shock them.
$43,170.
Keeping that money just didn't feel right. And remember, that's how this story started. Howard was a little uncomfortable. He ended up keeping the furniture, and now feels just fine.
But there was something to see the surprise on his face. I think Bell's stayed with me for the rest of the day.
All right, next, the 7-year-old we could all learn a thing or two from.
People are losing homes, but I'm not, so I feel kind of bad for them.
What young writer's giving up to help Australia's bushfire victims?
And the perks of winning a Screen Actors Guild Award.
I gotta add this to my Tinder profile.
Later, the Kiwis who also got their moment in the spotlight.
You're right, this. How do you make a politician squirm?
That's the first time I've seen a politician answer a direct question, so
Pit him against the chaser.
all of a sudden the wheels have come right off.
The Celebrity Chase, tonight on One.
I wonder what you would do.
Now, the U.S. military is jamming GPS signals.
Any dream you wanted to dream. You would, I suppose, start out by fulfilling all your wishes. Love affairs, banquets, wonderful journeys. And after you've done that for some time, you'd
shows or music you want on an easy monthly subscription. Now Triton's doing this for hearing, so you can get the very best hearing technology on an easy monthly subscription. We call it Pay As You Hear. To find out more about Pay As You Hear, call 0800 45 45 42 or visit tritonhearing.co.nz.
Did you know you can find your iPhone with your Apple Watch? Did you know that whenever an iPhone is in commercial, the time is always 9:41?
Did you know I'm not listening to you because I'm listening to these AirPods?
No, I did not know that.
Nobody knows Apple like Noel Leeming.
My love of gardening started with this corner over here. I just needed to cover it up. So I went to Oderings and asked them for advice about what to grow there. And look now. You could say it was the start of something.
We're welcoming in 2020 with Harrison's famous New Year carpet and curtain sale. Up to 30% off carpet, laminates, vinyl, curtains and blinds. Plus pay nothing until 2021. Harrison's. Give us a call today.
Want to lower cholesterol by up to 9%? It's as easy as 1, 2. 2 of these Weet-Bix a day provides 2 grams of plant sterols, which are clinically proven to lower cholesterol by up to 9% in 4 weeks. Take 2 a day.
A Smile Shop is where smiles are made, where you get a free 3D image of your smile and you're off. Then we'll deliver clear aligners to you for $130 a month. Book your free visit now at smiledirectclub.co.nz.
In my practice, I see a lot of kids with foot, ankle and leg problems. That's why I recommend Essentials from Shoe Clinic to help you find the best school shoe for your kids' feet.
This challenge is now on.
Who will survive the most incredible grand final you've ever seen?
The longest challenge in Australian Survivor history.
The grand final of Australian Survivor, tonight on 2.
Welcome back. As attention turns to whether New Zealand is prepared for a fire season like Australia's, the Defence Force is looking at expanding its fire response capability.
There's major differences here too across the ditch, but climate change is the curveball, which could cause us to be just as vulnerable. Gia Garrick looks into it.
Last year, 4,500 forest fires were put out by the fire department.
It's the eastern areas of both islands that tend to be the most fire prone. So they're in the shadow of the Southern Alps and the mountains of the Central North Island ranges.
New Zealand has 14,000 firefighters ready to respond, but they're facing a rising challenge.
The public can be confident, but of course the issues and the threats, particularly with climate change, are getting more and more extreme. So there needs to be continued investment into our capability.
It's prompted Defence Minister Ron Mark to ask military bosses for a rundown of how well prepared we are for risks related to fire, climate change and the Defence Force's ability to respond.
One of the key differences between the fires in Australia and New Zealand is in the vegetation that's burning. So Australia, unfortunately, has these very flammable eucalypt trees. These produce lots of volatile gas that basically explodes as the trees are ignited. But for the most part, our native and other introduced plant species are